go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up. Yeah, you know. Yeah, mask down, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to bring an addition to our Lux Algo series. Now, if you guys remember from last week, we did upload a couple of Lux Algo videos. One was a Lux Algo Premium introduction, and then another one was a Lux Algo Premium trading strategy. If you have seen that video, if you have not, I will actually link it in a card above. But if you saw that video last week, you will know that Lux Algo Premium has tons of overlays and indicators and signals that you can add onto the chart. It's very customizable. And the tool that we're going to be going over today is no different, and that is going to be Lux Algo Premium Oscillators. Now, what Lux Algo Premium Oscillators does is add oscillators to the bottom of your trading view chart, similar to where the RSI pops up or the MACD or Market Cipher B. But with Lux Algo Premium Oscillators, you do get a plethora of customizable settings and different oscillators that you can choose from, some being completely created from Lux Algo. Now, another cool feature of this tool is that they actually have added upgraded versions of some of your favorite traditional indicators, such as the MACD or the RSI. Now, Lux Algo has completely revamped these indicators to make them a little more reactive to price, so they're a little bit more sensitive to price action, which can help you guys get some better entries and exits in and out of your trades, and it just could make you a little bit more profitable. And don't forget, if you guys want to sign up for Lux Algo, you can check the link in the description down below, or head over to frankiecandles.com and head over to our deals section, where we have worked out an amazing deal with Sean from Lux Algo for you guys, the CandleMafia, so you guys can save 20% off. And they have a ton of different payment options. They have a monthly, a lifetime, and a yearly subscription with a full 30-day money-back guarantee, so it's completely risk-free. If you guys want to check that out and save some money, use the link in the description down below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the computer so I can show you guys how to get these oscillators onto your chart in TradingView and how I use them to trade. And don't forget, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you guys that special feature of the advanced oscillator on Lux Algo Premium, and I really think you're going to like it. Let's get into it. So here we are on the Bitcoin daily chart. Let's go ahead and add our Lux Algo Premium Oscillators to our chart. And to do that, you're going to want to come up here to your indicators tab. Go ahead and click it. I have mine added to my favorites, so it pops up right here. But if you just signed up for Lux Algo and you're getting it for the first time, you're going to have to come down to invite only script. Click on that, and there you go. You can see all of your invite only scripts. And you can go ahead and click on Lux Algo Premium Oscillators one time, and it will pop up on your chart just like this. You'll see this red and green ribbon pop up on your chart. Now, this is one of the many oscillators that come with this package. And before we jump into these and I show you guys exactly what they are and how they work, I do just want to open up the settings by double-clicking on this black box and coming over to show you guys kind of what this indicator has to offer. Now, you can see right here, it says type. And if you click on this drop-down menu, you'll see these are all the different oscillators that you can pick from. I'm not going to go super in-depth into every single one of these today, but I am going to just briefly go over them and show you guys how they work and which ones I actually really like. But you can see we're starting off with the Ultimate Stochastic, and that brings up this ribbon, is what I call it, and you can see you come up into an overbought territory. You do have a dynamic overbought line right here that does move, but you can see you get the ribbon flips green as you come up, and then as you're hitting the overbought levels, you see that you flip it to red and you come down, and it oscillates between red and green, basically just showing overbought and oversold levels. And if we come back to our settings here and click that same drop-down menu, you can see we have an Ultimate MACD, which is basically the same thing as a regular MACD, but just tweaked to be a little more reactive to price, which can obviously help you get better entries and exits into your trade. And continuing over here, you'll see the Ultimate RSI, which is very similar to the Ultimate MACD, where it looks just like the RSI, but it's a little more sensitive to price action. Again, helping you get those better entries and exits. Definitely very, very useful. And then this is the one I am very excited about. But down here, you have pivots. We'll come back to advanced, but if you click on pivot, you can see here just another type of oscillator. To be 100% honest, this is not one that I have used very much. but nonetheless, it is there. And then my absolute favorite is this advanced oscillator. Now, this does look a little bit confusing if you've never seen it before, but let me tell you, there is a ton of very, very useful information here. And you can see this one is a little similar to Market Cipher, where you have these waves going above a zero line and below the zero line. And then you have this, which is definitely not the same. This is completely different. If you compare this to Market Cipher B, these waves do not really match up at all. So they are definitely done much different than Market Cipher, but it is very similar in the style, is what I mean by that. But granted, I have tested them both side by side. They're very different. Even these waves, these green waves and purple waves do look like money flow, but if you pull up Market Cipher B, they don't line up at all. So it's completely different. There is something very exciting on this oscillator, and we'll get into that at the end of the video. But first, let's come back to our settings and click on Ultimate Stochastic. And I'm just going to dive a little deeper into each one of these. And then you can see, obviously, you can change settings here. I leave everything default, but you can, go through your settings and change things. I keep everything default for the most part. But with your Ultimate Stochastic, this is a really good way to try to see, where price is getting really oversold or really overbought. And just to take a deeper look at this oscillator, I do just want to go back and, just basically back test it, right? So as you can see, as you come up into the green, right, it is showing that you're in an uptrend, right? And then you come up to this overbought level, which, like I said, is very dynamic. It will move up as, price keeps getting pushed up and up. As you get to the top, you're overbought, then you flip red. And you can see as you flip red, you peak out and come down a bit. And then you had one more little bump up to get this higher high. And actually, you did put in a bearish divergence here. You can pull bearish divergences off of this indicator, or really any oscillator for the most part. You could do this with the MACD as well. Find these divergences. But there you go. You have a no-brainer bearish divergence. Your ribbon flips red and keeps coming down as your price absolutely tanks. Then you get that little bounce. You get the bounce on the stochastic. And then you can see this basically just correlates with the trend that you're in, right? This whole downtrend, you are in the red. And then you flip it into the green as you pop up again right here, and then you get another dump. It turns red, and works very similarly to the stochastic. And let me actually go ahead and pull up the stochastic just so we can compare it, right? So you can see here, it is not the same thing as the regular stochastic. Obviously, this is much different, but you can kind of see in the same way as, the stochastics come up, and then, you're in this overbought region, but you can tell that you're already in the overbought region. And then this little blip up gave you this big pump, right? If you look at the Ultimate Stochastic, this correlates much more with price action, right? You can see that you're already overbought. So you would be expecting these to cool off at this point, but you get another big rip to the upside. But if you come to your Ultimate Stochastic, you can see that as your price is coming up a little bit right here, your Ultimate Stochastic is just getting started here, still pretty close to that oversold area, kind of letting you know that there is some more potential upside on the horizon, and then you get that big pump as your RSI comes up. And then on the regular stochastics, you were just like overbought this entire time. It's just a little bit more clear on the Ultimate Stochastic, and that's one reason I really like this. And guys, stay tuned. In the near future, I will be posting some more trading strategies based off of these oscillators. There is one that I've been testing with the Ultimate Stochastic, which is very, very cool. I've been testing it as a pretty high win rate. So stay tuned, because we will be coming out with that video very soon. But nonetheless, I definitely prefer the Ultimate Stochastic over the traditional indicator. Now let's go ahead and check out our next oscillator, which is going to be the Ultimate MACD. Now, obviously, this is almost exactly the same function-wise, right? So if you know how to read the regular MACD, you will 100% know how to read the Ultimate MACD. The only difference is the way that it responds to price, right? Like I said, this one is going to be a little bit more sensitive to price action, giving you earlier signals to enter an exit your trades, as you can imagine, can be very, very useful. I do just want to pull up our traditional MACD here just so we could kind of compare and I can show you guys, the difference between these indicators. So as you can see right here, this is just a random example. Now, again, you have your ultimate MACD on top and your regular MACD on the bottom, but you can kind of see as price came to this peak, you can see that you did get your signal to sell right here on your ultimate MACD. I'm going to go ahead and put a vertical line on this cross, and you can see that the ultimate MACD indeed did give you that sell signal before your traditional MACD, a whole candle before, right? So this gave you your sell signal an entire day before the traditional MACD, which obviously can be extremely, extremely useful. And you can even see right here, now this is back in the day, all the way in 2020. This was at the beginning of this bull cycle. But you can see if I put a vertical line on your ultimate MACD cross here, which would have been your buy signal, you did get it a whole 1, 2, 3, 4 days before you printed it on the regular MACD. So it's a perfect example of the earlier signals that the ultimate MACD gives you rather than the traditional MACD. And it's a reason why I almost never use the regular MACD again. Why would I if the ultimate MACD will give me earlier signals? I don't know why you would want to lag behind, but nonetheless, this is an indicator I do pull up pretty often just to keep an eye on it and try to get those earlier signals. Now, let's go ahead and click on our settings here and move on to our next indicator, which is going to be the ultimate RSI. Now, if you guys ever use the regular RSI, you'll see that this RSI is almost visually identical to the traditional RSI, but like I said, similar to the ultimate MACD, this does just react a little bit quicker and is a little more sensitive to price action than the regular RSI. So I'm actually going to pull up the traditional RSI so we can kind of just compare. Now, similar to the ultimate MACD, the ultimate RSI very similarly does react a little quicker to price action, and in my personal opinion is just a little bit more accurate. I'm not going to go back and backtest this because this will be a very, very long video, but you can go back and backtest this. This is one I don't typically pull this up very often just because, you can only look at so many indicators. It's not because I don't like it or it doesn't work. It's just because I look at so many things. You can't look at everything. But nonetheless, the ultimate RSI very similarly just tweaked slightly from the traditional RSI to make it a little more useful for traders. Coming back into our settings, I want to jump into our last main focus of this video, which is going to be the advanced oscillator on Lux Algo. Now, there is a whole lot that goes into this advanced oscillator. I'm just going to cover a few parts of this actual indicator. Now, very similar to any oscillator, it kind of signals if you are overbought or oversold, and you do get buy and sell signals. Granted, you should never use these buy and sell signals as entries and exits in and out of your trades, but they are good to use as confirmation signals. But one of the main things that I absolutely love about this indicator is the real-time, keyword real-time divergence detection. Now, this is amazing, and I absolutely love this feature. Obviously, you guys know that we talk about divergences all the time on this channel. I love trading divergences. It's one of the most reliable trading strategies, in my opinion, has a super high win rate, and is a very, very good indicator of a potential market reversal, right? You guys know this. This is not news to you, but with an oscillator that automatically in real time detects these divergences is absolutely insane. Now, I know there are some free indicators out there that claim to have divergence detection, but these are typically lagging indicators. This Lux Algo Advanced Oscillator has real-time divergence detection. The divergence doesn't pop up and then it goes, oh, hey, that was a divergence back there. It says, hey, this is a divergence printing right now, bullish or bearish, and you guys can see that shown by these red lines. Now, you can see here, obviously, with the divergence, you're looking for a conflict between your price and your oscillator, right? So for in this case, a bearish divergence, you see that you are basically making higher highs on your price, as you can see right? You're getting a high, a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Granted, momentum is coming lower, right? So similar to market cipher bearish divergences, your waves, you have a high here, a lower high here, a lower high here, and you have a high here, a higher high here, and a higher high here, making that actual bearish divergence. And if we go ahead and use our replay tool, I can kind of show you guys how this works in real time. If we were, just kind of sitting here watching price action, price is coming up, you get this red dot indicating we are potentially topping out here, and then we come up, we make a second high, right? We print a red dot on there, and you instantly, and this is the key thing about this Lux Algo indicator, is that it has real-time detection. So the second that it detects that we are putting in a higher high here, it locks in that red line, letting you know, hey, there's a bearish divergence forming here. You might want to keep an eye on it. We might be having a potential reversal. And then we come up for one last push to the upside, putting in that third higher high, and you get that second line connecting all of these waves together, showing a true bearish divergence. And granted, this thing missed that big drop by one candle, you still would have gotten a really, really good entry, and you could have rode this from about here to here, which still would have been a 16% gain. You don't even need leverage on that to make a decent size gain. If you're trading with enough capital, you get a nice 16% move there. Now let's go ahead and see if we can find an example of a bullish divergence detection, and let's go ahead and move our candles ahead here. And you see we get a green dot right here, and then we come back up, and we come down for that second wave, right? So we have a low here, right? You have a low here, and you have a lower low here, making that line to the downside. Now you have a low here and a potential higher low here. You have to wait for that green dot to print. Boom, you get the green dot, and as soon as you get that green dot, you get the green line letting you know that there is a bullish divergence here. And then let's see what kind of move you could have gotten out of this. Your entry would be right there, and boom, I would call that from our green dot here. If you were to get in, you could have rode it to the top of this range for a 25% profit. Perfect call on that bullish divergence, as you can see. Now, let me just go ahead and find one more example of a bullish divergence that was called by this indicator. So we're going to go ahead and move our price forward. You can see we printed a green dot here. And keep moving price forward, and we are coming down for a second wave. Obviously, you do have your low here, and it looks like we are potentially putting a lower low in here, but let's move price forward and see if okay, that is not your lower low. We're going to go ahead and grab that and bring it down. Maybe this will be our low, and we are getting that bullish divergence detection here confirmed on this green dot right here. So that should be our lower low here. So you have your low, your lower low with your sharp difference in price like that. And then you come up like this. Your bullish divergence line pops up. And let's see if price comes to the upside. And it does. I don't know how much higher this is going to go, but just to show you guys this example, if you entered in on this green dot here, depending on where in this candle you entered, let's say you didn't catch the exact bottom, let's say you entered right about here, and you rode it all the way up to the top. That's an 82% difference, guys. You don't even need to ride it up all the way, that entire way. Just, there are so many opportunities to ride this up and grab your bag, but 82% up just based off of that bullish divergence. Now, one thing you want to realize is this is not going to be right 100% of the time, which is why you never want to trade based off of just one indicator and one indicator only. You could see here that we did detect a bearish divergence, which did definitely happen on this. You have your higher high here and your lower high here, indicating price would most likely come down. And granted, you did come down a tiny bit, but it wasn't enough to really get a decent move. So in my eyes, that one's kind of invalidated. And you can see it did pull another one right here. And you did come down just a little bit based off of this second red dot. You could have rode it from here to here. That's a 12% correction. So that's not too bad. I mean, you could definitely trade that and make some money. But I do just want to point out that it's not as easy as just seeing that bullish divergence, buying it, and winning every single time. It can be wrong. It is wrong sometimes. I want to be completely transparent about that. But if you watch the channel or you've been trading for any length of time, you know not to trade just based off of one indicator. If it was that easy, literally everybody would be a millionaire. No one would have a job. So you want to be doing your other TA and just kind of using other confirmations to make sure that you're confident in entering entering a trade. For example, I do just want to pull up the RSI here. And as you can see here, the RSI, even though we got this bearish divergence, the RSI was not overbought, which would add extra confirmation to me. If the RSI was overbought, I'd feel much more confident about getting into that short trade. Now, you can see here on this bullish divergence right here that was detected recently, actually oversold on the RSI. So if you were looking at this RSI, you're like, okay, we're definitely oversold here, and we have a bullish divergence. That would give you more confirmation that it would be a bigger move to the upside, rather than here where you're getting the bearish divergence and you're not really overbought. This is why you want to use multiple confirmations, whether it's Market Cipher or your RSI or your ultimate RSI or whatever it may be. You don't just want to trade based off of these signals alone, is my point. However, they are very, very, very useful. So guys, I think that's all I got for this video. I would love to go super in depth on every single one of these indicators and back test them 100 times, but this would be a very, very long video if I did that. But we will probably come out with a part 2 on these oscillators, or maybe some, like I said, some trading strategy videos just based off of the oscillators. So maybe we do something where we're trading divergences using an oscillator, or we're using the ultimate stochastic with some of the other Lux Algo support and resistance indicators. There's a million different ways that you can use this indicator between Lux Algo Premium and the Lux Algo Premium oscillators and the support and resistance indicators. There's a million different strategies that you could come up with here. So stay tuned for those. And again, if you guys want to sign up for Lux Algo, make sure to check that link in the description down below if you want to save 20%. But you gotta be in the Candle Mafia. With all that being said, guys, I think that's all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you